Monday was a busy day for the Miami Dolphins. They parted ways officially with 3 players, Tyreek Hill, James Daniels, and Nick Westbrook-Akine. And it was also reported that Bradley Chubb will be released. I think his release is going to be coming on March 11th so they can take that cap hit and spread it over 2 years by making him a post-June 1 release. You can't officially release a guy until the start of the league year with the post-June 1 designation and take advantage of that opportunity to spread out the cap hit. The one guy we're waiting for, though, and he'll be, if he's released, a post-June 1 transaction that comes as of March 11, that's quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Remember, it was just last week that new GM John Eric Sullivan said that the team is moving toward making a decision. And the way I interpreted the comments, it's not whether or not we're going to keep him as a starter. It's what we're going to do with him. How are we going to extricate ourselves from this very bad contract that GM Chris Grier gave to Tua Tagovailoa 2 years ago? Do we just cut him? They got to pay him $54 million, fully guaranteed for 2026. And they have to deal with $99 million in dead cap charges that will be spread over 2 years. Do we do that? Or is there a way to trade him where the Dolphins will pay a large chunk of the money, take on a large piece of the salary cap obligation, and another team will acquire him? And remember, the Brock Osweiler strategy is potentially in play here, where the Dolphins actually send a draft pick with Tua Tagovailoa to get that team to take Tua off the books and take that cap money. You're basically buying a draft pick for cash and cap space. So if the Dolphins give you a second-round pick like the Texans gave to the Browns in the Brock Osweiler trade, and the Browns took on $17 million in full guarantees, that's part of this transaction. That's a way you can essentially trade for cap space or trade away cap space and get it off your books. That's a possibility as well. But they're going to have to figure it out. They're going to want to do it as soon as the new league year begins. We'll see if they find someone who will do a trade, whether it's because that team wants Tua Tagovailoa to be its starting quarterback, or whether it's because that team sees a way to maybe pick up a draft pick or two by taking on Tua's contract. If I had to guess, though, I'd say the most likely outcome is he's released, he becomes a free agent, and then we'll see what the market is, either as a starter or as a backup. I doubt that there's going to be much of a market for Tua as a starter, but we'll see. Because, again, there aren't enough good quarterbacks to go around. There aren't enough bad quarterbacks to go around. And Tua has shown that when he's healthy, he can play at an acceptable level. Now, is he a guy that's going to make chicken salad when the play that's called goes sideways? No, that's when he, as former teammate Xavier Howard said after week 1, when Howard then with the Colts faced the Dolphins, when you take away the first read, he panics. He goes into panic mode. That's exactly what Howard said. But still, he's good enough to play. He's not the only guy that when you take away the first read, short circuits. Kirk Cousins, frankly. And hell, I think there's going to be a market for Cousins. I think he played very well last year, but he's not going to be like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or the other great quarterbacks who can make something happen when the play that's called just isn't there. So Tua won't be in Miami next year. The only way he is if they just say, screw it. We got to pay this guy $54 million. We got to take the cap charge. Let's just keep him around in the event that we may need him. The problem is you've got a new regime there that's trying to turn the page. And I think it sends mixed signals to the locker room if Tua is still there. It's going to be very awkward for everyone if Tua is still there. And I doubt that Tua would want to be there. If they've moved on from him as the starter, which they will, he's there as the number 2 guy, or he's the game day inactive, or scout team safety. How many times have we seen stories about that where a quarterback who is no longer playing ends up at the walkthrough as a scout team safety? So that's not good for anybody. I think he'll be released. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. I don't think the Dolphins know at this point. They're in the process of exploring their options and making a decision. But my guess would be he gets cut on March 11 with a post-June 1 designation. They pay him the $54 million this year, less whatever he makes somewhere else. And if he signs somewhere else, he'd probably do what Russell Wilson did 2 years ago after the Broncos cut him and they owed him, I think, $38 million. You sign a 1-year deal for the league minimum and you stick the Dolphins for the balance of that money. That makes him an attractive option for a team that's looking for a veteran backup because they only have to pay 1.2, 1.3 million, whatever the minimum is for a guy with Tua's level of experience. He's now entering year number 7. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.